Marcus Aurelius wisely advised waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. He stands out as an extraordinary figure in history, celebrated as the final member of the 5 good emperors, known for his genuine concern for his subject. He also embraced the teachings of Stoicism and is often referred to as a philosopher king. Among his notable contributions are the personal writings he left behind, collectively known as meditation. These meditations are esteemed as some of the most profound philosophical works ever composed. In this video, we will delve into 10 principles for living in accordance with Marcus Aurelius' wisdom and Stoic philosophy. 1. Be grateful, as Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, to the gods I am indebted for having good grandfathers, good parents, a good sister, good teachers, good kinsmen and friends, nearly everything good. In the first book of his meditation, Marcus Aurelius expresses his profound gratitude to all those who played a role in shaping him. There is much to be gleaned from his reflections. He candidly and humbly acknowledges how he developed his values and ethics, demonstrating deep appreciation for those who contributed to his growth. You too can emulate this practice by maintaining a gratitude journal. Keeping a gratitude journal is a straightforward process. Each day, select 3 to 5 things for which you are thankful and record them. Even on challenging days, you can focus on returning home to your family, the companionship of your pet, or simply being grateful for the gift of life itself. Initially, finding time for your gratitude journal might seem like an added task on your never-ending to-do list, but as it becomes a habit, it will feel like second nature. The benefits of gratitude journaling are manifold, including reduced stress levels, increased inner peace, and enhanced clarity. Through this practice, you will gain deeper self-awareness and develop a fresh perspective that enables you to discern hidden blessing. Over time, you will be better equipped to allocate your time and energy to pursuits that truly nurture the happiest version of yourself. For instance, suppose you had a particularly challenging day at work. Instead of dwelling on the difficulties, you can open your gratitude journal and reflect on the things you're thankful for. In this case, you might express gratitude for family, reconnecting with your loved ones after a tough day at work, cherishing the moments you spend together, and finding solace in their presence. Pets, the unconditional love and companionship of your loyal pet, which can provide a source of comfort and joy even on difficult days. Life, acknowledging the sheer gift of being alive and having the opportunity to experience all the ups and downs that life presents. By consciously noting these aspects of your life in your gratitude journal, you shift your focus from the challenges and stresses of your workday to the sources of comfort, love, and positivity that surround you. This simple act of gratitude can help transform your perspective and bring a greater sense of contentment and resilience to your life. Show empathy and take care of your life. Marcus Aurelius aptly encourages us to consider when people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come of it. If you understand that, you'll feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger. Your sense of good and evil may be the same as theirs or near it, in which case you have to excuse them, or your sense of good and evil may differ from theirs, in which case they're misguided and deserve your compassion. Is that so hard? The second book in the meditation series by Marcus Aurelius is rooted in the idea that we should forgive others for their flaws and faults, because we too are flawed. The theme of Book 2 comes down to one human capacity. As young children, our family and other role models are responsible for teaching us to be empathetic, but there are some people who never take the lesson seriously, and yet there are others who forget the lesson as we grow older and our lives become busier. No matter your situation, everyone has been guilty at least once in their life of not being empathic in a situation that called for it. This means we all have room to grow in this area of our lives. The degree to which you are able to empathize with another person is directly related to your ability to empathize with yourself. So how can you cultivate empathy and care for your life? First, you should reflect on the intentions and perspectives of others, even when they've wronged you. Seek to understand their motives, which can lead to sympathy rather than anger or outrage. Then you recognize your own imperfections and limitations. fostering a sense of humility and understanding that you too make mistakes. Moreover, don't forget to practice self-compassion and self-empathy, extending the same kindness and understanding to yourself that you would to others. In short, empathy not only fosters better relationships with those around you, but also enriches your own life by promoting a deeper sense of compassion and self-awareness. For example, imagine a situation where a colleague at work criticizes your performance in a team meeting and you feel hurt and defensive. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you can apply the principles of empathy and self-compassion. Empathy for your colleague. Before responding, try to put yourself in your colleague's shoes. Consider that they might be under pressure or have their own concerns. By understanding their perspective, you may realize that their criticism was not intended to harm you, but was a result of their own stress or frustration. Empathy for yourself. Simultaneously, acknowledge your own feelings and vulnerabilities. Recognize that it's normal to feel hurt or defensive when criticized. Embrace self-compassion and remind yourself that, like anyone else, you have strengths and weaknesses. This self-empathy can help you manage your emotional reaction more effectively. By practicing empathy both for your colleague and for yourself, you can respond to criticism with a more level-headed and compassionate approach. This not only strengthens your interpersonal relationships, but also nurtures your emotional well-being and self-growth. 3. Be mindful. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life. In Book 3 of Meditations, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the importance of being mindful of the small details in life. To practice mindfulness, one must not overly concern themselves with the actions or words of others. Instead, focus on your own words and deeds, living in a way that you would not be ashamed of if others were to discover them. This involves approaching everything with happiness and sincerity. Being mindful means being fully aware of your present surroundings and actions, without being overwhelmed by the distractions of each passing moment. The easiest way to develop mindfulness is to set aside dedicated time each day for mindfulness practice. Here's how you can start. First, find a quiet space. Choose a tranquil and quiet place where you can practice without interruption. Second, pay close attention. In this space, pay close attention to your surroundings and experiences without passing judgment. Simply observe what is happening without trying to change it or categorize it. Third, notice and release judgments. When you catch yourself making judgments about something, whether it's a smell, someone's voice, or even a self-critique, acknowledge the judgment and then let it go. Your mind tends to wander into thought. Practicing mindfulness involves recognizing these thoughts and allowing them to pass, bringing your focus back to the present moment. Imagine you're having a meal with a loved one in a quiet restaurant. Instead of being distracted by your smartphone or thoughts about work, you decide to be fully present and mindful during this experience. You choose a cozy, quiet corner of the restaurant to minimize distractions and noise. As you sit down, you focus on the ambience of the restaurant, the soft lighting, the sound of gentle chatter, and the aroma of the food. You immerse yourself in the moment, observing the details without judgment. When your meal arrives, you pay close attention to the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. You chew slowly and savor each bite, appreciating the taste and the company of your loved one. You avoid distractions and stay fully present. During the meal, your mind may wander. You might start thinking about work or other concerns. When you catch yourself doing this, you acknowledge the thoughts without self-criticism and gently guide your focus back to the meal and the person you're with. By practicing mindfulness in this scenario, you not only enhance the quality of your dining experience, but also strengthen your connection with your loved one. It allows you to fully enjoy the moment, savor the food, and be present in your conversation. Additionally, it reduces the intrusion of stress and worry, promoting a sense of tranquility and contentment. 4. Practice virtuousness. Marcus Aurelius wisely advises us, remember this, that there is a proper dignity and proportion to be observed in the performance of every act of life. In Book of Meditations, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the idea that we can always find solitude within our own mind. When our minds are serene, we can discover peace and happiness. As for how others perceive us, that is largely beyond our control. However, virtue remains virtuous whether it is acknowledged by others or not. Our lives are fleeting, and we should act with virtue, make the most of our time, and maintain a cheerful disposition. Virtues are moral standards and represent the best principles by which to live. Striving for moral excellence leads to honesty, respect, bravery, forgiveness, kindness, and many other positive traits. Those who attain moral excellence are committed to doing what is right. Therefore, you should strive to always be virtuous, be happy, and use your time well. However, the path to virtue raises an important question. How can one become virtuous? During our formative years, our parents bear the primary responsibility for instilling virtues within us, and ideally, we learn virtuous behavior by observing their actions. Nonetheless, as we mature, the onus shifts to us to take charge of our own lives and attitudes. Eventually, we must recognize the need to proactively nurture our virtuous character. If you ever find yourself uncertain about where to begin, consider starting by practicing virtues in your daily life. Furthermore, seek out role models to inspire you. When confronted with situations that leave you in doubt, you can draw upon the example set by your chosen role model. This practice can serve as a guiding light, helping you navigate complex decisions and take morally upright action. For instance, consider a young individual who grew up in a household where honesty and integrity were highly valued. They learned these virtues by observing their parents, who consistently demonstrated honesty in their dealings with others. As this person enters adulthood and faces moral choices independently, they might encounter a situation at work where they're tempted to act unethically to gain a competitive advantage. At this point, they recall the lessons of their parents and their commitment to honesty. They also have a role model in their life, a mentor at their workplace who is known for their ethical conduct. When confronted with the moral dilemma, the person thinks about what their role model would do in this situation. They remember how their mentor consistently chooses the path of honesty and integrity. This reflection guides their decision, and they decide to act honestly, even if it means losing a short-term gain. They recognize that virtuous actions are aligned with their values and their understanding of what it means to lead a principled life. By striving for virtue and moral excellence, you create a life that aligns with your values and principles. This not only leads to your own personal growth, but also positively impacts those around you, fostering a more virtuous and compassionate community. 5. Willingly contribute. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, some people, when they do someone a favor, are always looking for a chance to call it in, and some aren't, but they're still aware of it, still regard it as a debt. But others don't even do that. They're like a vine that produces grapes without looking for it. Anything in return. The 5th book of Aurelius' Meditations underscores the importance of willingly getting up in the morning with a desire to engage in meaningful work that contributes to society. When you perform acts of kindness and good deeds for others, it's crucial not to seek immediate repayment, not even in the form of gratitude. Instead, find contentment in the work itself and the knowledge that you have made a positive impact. However, many people struggle to fulfill their intentions to help society due to their busy lives, be it caring for family, pursuing careers, or managing household. Contribution to society doesn't necessarily require monetary donations. You can give your time to assist community groups or organizations. You can also donate items you no longer need, such as clothing or household appliances. Volunteering is an excellent way to contribute, as you can offer your time and effort to causes that resonate with you. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on creating a better society. It encourages individuals to wake up with a sense of purpose, focusing on how they can make a positive difference in the lives of those around them. Embracing the concept of willingly contributing without expecting immediate rewards fosters a sense of community and purpose, enriching both your life and the lives of others. 6. Reject the need for revenge. Marcus Aurelius succinctly advises The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. In the 6th book of Meditations, Aurelius encourages his readers to turn away from the toxic path of revenge, which is driven by anger, a desire for power, and the pain of being wrong. Revenge perpetuates a vicious cycle, leading to more retaliation and hostility. Instead, it's essential to break this cycle and seek a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Revenge is the impulse to get even when someone harms or wrongs you. It's natural to feel angry and want to respond with, "I won't let that go unpunished." However, revenge drags you down to the level of those you disdain, and it often has detrimental effects on your well-being. Studies have shown that seeking revenge increases stress and can harm your physical and mental health. While the instinct for revenge is predictable, to thrive as an individual, it's crucial to resist this impulse and strive for a more positive way to address wrongs. It's important to acknowledge that vengeful thoughts may arise, but recognizing them as instincts allows you to make conscious, peaceful choices. Refraining from revenge doesn't make you weak. It means you're choosing a more constructive and harmonious path. When tempted by thoughts of revenge, recall the wisdom of Confucius. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. This profound saying reminds us of the destructive nature of revenge and the importance of seeking resolution and healing instead. Imagine a scenario in which a colleague at work undermines you and takes credit for your ideas during a team meeting. This situation understandably triggers feelings of anger and a desire for retaliation. The instinct for revenge might prompt you to publicly confront your colleague during the meeting, exposing their actions and seeking to tarnish their reputation. However, this approach is likely to escalate the conflict and damage your own professional image. Choosing the path of revenge would only perpetuate a cycle of negativity, creating a hostile work environment and causing stress for both parties involved. Instead, you remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and recognize that revenge is not the solution. You decide to address the issue more constructively. After the meeting, you request a private conversation with your colleague to express your concerns and discuss the situation calmly and professionally. This approach allows for the possibility of resolution and cooperation rather than continuing a cycle of revenge and hostility. By rejecting revenge in favor of a more positive and collaborative response, you demonstrate strength, resilience, and a commitment to maintaining a healthy and productive work environment. 7. Have patience. As Marcus Aurelius wisely states, convince them not to, if you can, and if not, remember, the capacity for patience was given us for a reason. The 7th section of Meditations is a contemplation on the virtues of tolerance and patience. Imagining the role of an emperor, one can appreciate the immense responsibilities and constant challenges that come with such power. Despite absolute authority, emperors like Marcus Aurelius had to navigate a web of advisors, family, lifeguards, the Senate, magistrates, and the Roman populace. Leading a state required constant persuasion, discussions, and a multitude of differing opinions and demands. Marcus Aurelius believed that patience was a vital attribute bestowed upon us for a reason. The world is ever-changing, and patience is essential in adapting to these shifts. Regardless of your actions, some people may speak ill of you, but in such situations, tolerance becomes your ally. It's true that some individuals may attempt to exploit your patience, but in those moments, it is crucial to maintain control and positivity. One way to do this is by managing your reactions to people and situations. Patience is a fundamental character trait that contributes to lower stress levels, increased happiness, and even better health. Practicing patience allows you to confront challenging circumstances with a calm demeanor, reducing anger and facilitating better decision-making. You possess the gifts of both patience and persuasion for a reason. Utilize your persuasive skills to influence others when possible. When persuasion falls short, rely on the power of patience. Most importantly, consider the synergy of both qualities to navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. Imagine you're a project manager working on a critical, time-sensitive project. As the deadline approaches, you encounter multiple obstacles including unexpected technical issues and delays from team members. The stress and frustration are mounting, and your initial reaction might be to express impatience, assign blame, or even vent your frustration on your team. However, you remember the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and recognize that patience is a virtue that can be a guiding light in such situations. Instead of reacting with anger or blame, you take a step back and remind yourself that your capacity for patience is a valuable tool. You begin by calmly addressing the technical issues, working with your team to find solutions and overcome obstacles. Rather than assigning blame, you seek to understand the challenges your team is facing and offer support where needed. Your patience allows you to maintain a sense of composure during this challenging period. Your team notices your approach and appreciates your understanding and support. By the time the project is completed, the atmosphere is one of collaboration and teamwork, and you've successfully met the deadline. In this scenario, your patience not only helps you navigate the challenges, but also creates a more positive work environment. It fosters better relationships and empowers you to lead with empathy and resilience, ultimately contributing to the project's success. 8. Maintain social relationships. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then, or bear with them. The 8th Book of Meditation explores the idea that detaching from society is akin to severing a vital part of oneself, emphasizing the importance of staying connected to others and nature. The truth is that humans are inherently social beings. We have an innate drive to seek, establish, nurture, and protect meaningful social relationships. We fulfill this need by forming connections in various aspects of our lives, including work, school, communities, religious organizations, sports teams, online communities, and more. These relationships provide a sense of belonging and prevent feelings of isolation, which can have both physical and psychological consequences. Once you've established a social circle, it's crucial to put effort into maintaining those connections. Consider the following steps. Initiate contact. Introduce yourself and engage with people in various social settings, whether it's at church, in a leisure course, a support group, or a recreational sports organization. Stay in touch. Make an effort to keep in contact with the people you've met. Arrange meetups or social interactions to nurture these budding relationships. 3-month rule. Over a period of about 3 months, gauge the compatibility and depth of connection with these individuals. If you find that there isn't a strong connection, consider exploring new social circles elsewhere. By actively cultivating and maintaining social relationships, you contribute to your own well-being and create a support system that enhances your life's quality. These connections help you feel connected to a larger community, prevent feelings of isolation, and provide opportunities for personal growth and shared experiences. Imagine a person who has recently moved to a new city for a job. They find themselves in an unfamiliar environment, far from family and friends. Initially, they may feel isolated and disconnected as they lack a social support system in this new place. To nurture their social relationships, they begin by attending social events in their new city, such as community gatherings, networking meetings, and local clubs. Through these events, they meet various people from different walks of life. Over the next 3 months, they make a conscious effort to stay in touch with the people they've met, whether it's by attending group activities, inviting individuals for coffee or meals, or joining community projects. As they invest time and energy into these relationships, they gradually start building a social circle. They realize the benefits of these connections go beyond mere companionship. They gain a support network that helps them adapt to their new surroundings, provides advice about local life, and offers a sense of belonging. These newfound relationships become a source of emotional support and contribute to their overall well-being. Thanks to actively engaging in forming and maintaining social connections, the person turns a potentially isolating situation into a fulfilling and supportive experience in their new city. 9. Be genuine, modest, and truthful. In the pages of Meditations, Marcus Aurelius advises epithets for yourself: upright, modest, straightforward, Sane, cooperative, try not to exchange for others. Try not to exchange for others. He underscores the importance of embodying qualities such as genuineness, modesty, serenity, and truthfulness. Genuineness, in this context, refers to being authentic and true to yourself, as well as in your interactions with others. Authenticity emanates from within. Your actions and words should align with your true thoughts and feelings. Calling yourself genuine requires consistency between what you say and what you genuinely mean. For example, if you tell someone that you love something when you actually don't, it compromises your genuineness. Demonstrating your authentic thoughts and emotions in your interactions with others reflects your commitment to being genuine. While it's common to tell small white lies to avoid hurting someone's feelings, these falsehoods can have a more profound impact on your emotional well-being over time. The longer you perpetuate even minor deceptions, the more they can erode your sense of self and authenticity. To counteract this, it's essential to practice truthfulness with people, even when you anticipate that they might not want to hear the truth. Being genuinely modest and truthful is not just a virtue, but also a path to maintaining strong and meaningful relationships with others. It demonstrates respect for both yourself and those you interact with, fostering trust and openness in your connections. Finally, 10. Accept and appreciate yourself. In the wise words of Marcus Aurelius, I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinions of himself than on the opinions of others. The final book of Marcus Aurelius' Meditations focuses on the paradox of how we tend to value the opinions of others more than our own, despite loving ourselves the most. It underscores the importance of self-acceptance and self-appreciation. The fate of every person, regardless of their qualities or flaws, is the same. Life will eventually come to an end. In light of this reality, it becomes essential to accept and appreciate oneself. This might seem straightforward, but it often involves various factors, including how we perceive ourselves and how others view us. Ultimately, self-acceptance is a personal decision that depends on how you define your inner self. If you cannot look at yourself with satisfaction, you may not have truly achieved self-appreciation. Here are steps to help you work towards self-acceptance and self-appreciation. Build self-confidence. Cultivate self-confidence, as low self-esteem and a poor self-image can make you vulnerable to the opinions and judgments of others. Self-confidence empowers you to define yourself worth independently. Recognize your value, understand and acknowledge your intrinsic value. Recognize that you are a unique and valuable individual with your own strengths, weaknesses, and qualities that make you special. Focus on self-growth. Continuously strive for personal growth and self-improvement. Learning, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself contribute to self-appreciation. By accepting and appreciating yourself, you not only enhance your self-esteem and resilience, but also create a foundation for positive relationships with others. This self-love and acceptance form the basis for a fulfilling and authentic life. For instance, imagine you are a middle-aged professional who found yourself constantly comparing your achievements to those of your peers. You would often feel inadequate when you saw their seemingly more successful careers and lifestyle. Then, inspired by the idea of embracing one's intrinsic worth, you decided to shift your perspective. You started acknowledging your unique skills and experiences and stopped measuring your success solely by external standards. With time, you learned to appreciate your own journey, even its imperfections, and stopped seeking validation from others. This transformation allowed you to find contentment and confidence from within, ultimately leading to a more satisfying and less stressful life. In conclusion, these principles of Stoicism above, as articulated by Marcus Aurelius, offer a philosophical framework for living a life of wisdom, virtue, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. They can serve as a guide for personal growth and well-being, even in the modern world.